So you've got some painting at home that needs to be done. You walk into your local builders and you're met with an aisle full of different brushes. There are different sizes, brands, colors. Some have wooden handles, others soft plastic. Where do you start? What brush do you need? I asked Kevin to pop into his local builders and he grabbed me a selection of brushes from the Advantage and Go paint range. And you can see there are quite a few varieties. For now, I'm not talking about different sizes of brushes, but rather the bristles of each. Bristles nowadays are almost all made from synthetic fibers rather than natural fibers such as animal hair. Synthetic fibers are better suited to water-based paints as these do not absorb water, and this allows the paint to run off the bristles and it helps in avoiding unsightly brush strokes. Before you paint anything, fluff up the bristles in your hand and you will immediately see if there are any stray bristles. Some brushes are labeled as no loss brushes and these bristles have been secured into their ferrule extremely well. If you do see a stray bristle or two, gently pull them out as these are going to give you streaks of paint. Just make sure your hands are clean and not full of oil as this will contaminate the paint. Paintbrush choice should not be price driven. Get the best quality you can. You want your finish to look as good as possible. There are brushes that can be used on all surfaces such as the all-rounder and the green one. These have a medium bristle and are always worth having in your garage. Yes, they can be used for rough surfaces and they can be used for applying varnish onto timber, but there are more specialized brushes for these uses. The rough one is exactly that. It has a firmer bristle that can take the abrasion of a rough surface, but doesn't get into all those little holes and cracks so well. A handy tip here, don't overload your paintbrush with paint. Only dip about 30% of your brush into your paint. So you're probably wondering, then why don't I use a soft bristle brush then? The reason is the bristles are not designed for rough surfaces and within a short time, the tips will start splitting and breaking off. Soft bristles are designed for smooth surfaces. When painting wooden window frames and furniture, you're going to want a soft bristle brush. And these stain and varnish brushes are built for the job. You also see that the bristles are denser, which helps in giving a lovely sheer finish with minimal brush marks. Right, so we've discussed bristles. What about size? For me, any brush up to 38mm is a small, 50 and 75s are medium, and 100mm upwards I consider a large. The small brushes are ideal for cutting edges, painting wooden frames, skirtings, and other jobs where you want a good brush control. You cannot paint a window with a 100mm brush, it's gonna be a mess. On the other hand, you're not going to use a 19mm brush to paint a bedroom wall. If I have a large area to paint, then I'd rather use a roller. And if you need to know which roller to use, check the link in the description where I run through some rollers and share advice. Brushes such as the block brushes, waterproofing brushes, and the overbrush are designed for larger jobs such as plastering, waterproofing membrane, and roofing work. In this day and age, we all want instant results, and one of these is a fast drying paint. So the paint manufacturers have achieved this, and this means your paint will dry quicker on your brushes than you think. Take a lunch break and you'll come back and your paintbrush has started to get hard. Even if you're taking a short break, clean your brushes. In the case of water-based paints, warm water is usually enough. Solvent paints are going to need thinners or turpentine. Always be aware of where your wastewater goes. We really shouldn't be washing paint and solvent cleaner down the drain, especially if you have a septic tank. Rather get the majority of the cleaning done in a bucket and dispose of the dirty water elsewhere. Next time you're shopping for a brush, get the right one for the right job. Now remember, all these brushes are available at Builders, both in-store and online at builders.co.za. For more videos like this, check out the blog on the websites. Get to Builders, get it done.